This is Flying Gophers, and this will be my first review. Starting off my series will be a review of the game Dungeon Defenders plus DLC. I will go through the overall feel of the game, and then go through some of the gameplay. Dungeon Defenders is a third or first-person RPG tower defense game. Most of the gameplay consists of building diverse defenses at choke points, and using your character to help them. The most played aspect of the game is multiplayer, usually through Steam. You can choose Ranked or Open, where Ranked is more official. You have diverse classes that give you different defenses to fight your waves of baddies. This is the overall feel of the game, including graphics, story, and music. I really like the graphics. With the smooth textures and the realistic lighting, it gives you a slightly cartoon feel but doesn't drive away serious gamers. I don't like when they try to be funny, for example having the squire in his boxers. Haha, but it's kind of annoying. Even with what seems like hundreds of bolts and arrows flying through the game, the graphics can handle it and immerse the player in the game. With a useful GUI, it has a great flow and can be a huge help to new players. Watching the harpoon turrets take out flocks of wyverns and archer minions mow down orcs can be immensely satisfying and incredible to watch. Smooth transitions between waves is also aesthetically pleasing. Good standard WASD controls that allows full control over your chosen character. With useful tips like little green thumbs that show up on a good weapon makes you concentrate more on the gameplay rather than comparing stats. Here is some gameplay and the pros and cons. Using the build phase, you build your defenses to stop the bad guys getting to your crystals. If the crystals are destroyed, you lose. You build these defenses by collecting mana, those are the little gems, and purchasing towers from your vast arsenal. On multiplayer, it's pretty fun to be able to build for noobs, or have pros build for you. The strategy really comes in when you try to find the proper place to build a tower. Now, if you don't think in the build phase, you may end in disaster. You can still build in the combat phase, but not as quickly. Placing a tower in a bad place, and you have 2 front battles on your hands. And then, you might just get destroyed. Now, in the combat phase, you run around and check on your defenses. Some players use DPS classes to fight the waves themselves, or you can upgrade and repair in any phase, which can be quite convenient. You can collect more mana from killed enemies and use them to improve your setup. Using different classes, you can change your defenses and make them stronger. Like Eevee has a tower boost beam that makes your attacks more powerful. Some classes summon minions, create auras, build beams, or just fight DPS style. Using different defenses can create devastating combos to combat the enemy. Included in the DLC is the Summoner for minions, Eevee for beams, Barbarian, DPS, and Jester for tricks. When all combined together, you can completely destroy the next wave. You have to have a good sense of strategy in order to combine the classes properly to create the best setup you can possibly have. Its replay value is really only leveling up. It still makes you want to play more, but I wish that it was more original. The multiplayer is the main part of the game that makes it fun. Your tavern is where you meet other players and form a team to fight on the next map. Alone, the game gets boring and pretty repetitive. Now here comes the total value. Story, I'd give it only 1 out of 5. Very weak and kind of boring. Graphics, pretty great with cool animations, very aesthetically pleasing. Music, addicting, but not the greatest soundtrack, 3 out of 5. Could have made it more diverse. Gameplay, a whopping 5 out of 5. New ideas and new content make it a very, very satisfying combination. Replay, 3 out of 5. Same old leveling system, but it still makes you want to get to level 100. Multiplayer, 5 out of 5. This is what really makes the game worthwhile. Playing with buddies online and finding the perfect setup is awesome. This was my first game review. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave comments, rate, and subscribe.